Welcome to Driveclub Logic, where the developers of DC DC'd it up. Meaning, Evolution Studios done corked it up. I didn't do a pun with evolution because, well, I believe in evolution. And I can't say a word that kind of sounds like corked but isn't and get away with it anymore. So anyway, let's get into it. That evolution joke's gonna get my video taken down anyway, ain't it? But anyway, moving on. I'm doing this like in the PD Logic series where I'm not doing this to bash the game, especially because the game's developers don't exist anymore. Even though evolution does exist, but no more jokes about that. Yeah, it's not bashing them. There's nothing left to bash, but it's a good game. I'm just doing this for fun, so I hope you'll enjoy it. So anyway, moving on. For the first DC Logic, it's pretty cotton picking simple. You can't even play the game half the time because, well, the servers just randomly cut out. When A, there's stuff already loading. So in theory, it's loading and shouldn't really need to load a second time. And then B, it loads a second time. That's two logics in one there. I don't really get the long load times just to load something to look at. It's one thing to load a whole rankings board. It's another thing to load like 3 onto things just to look at that doesn't even move. And yet that can sometimes take like 30 seconds to load. And then at other times, they actually make the whole page not even appear. I don't get why either of those happen, and especially when they both happen simultaneously. That's just beyond me, folks. It's just beyond me. But anyway, moving on. This race, everything's going perfectly fine. I'm in the lead. There's cars stuck on track. This happens in GT6. Wink, wink. Moving on. And like in GT6, a PD logic plus a DC logic. When there's cars on track, the rankings go all wonky. I am pretty sure that car that quote-unquote won the race was one of the ones that was driving, but it was given the win for no good reason whatsoever. Driveclub Logic. It's the only reason I can think of. This happens in GT6 as well, so maybe it's just games with bad servers have this happen. You can't really fault Driveclub for having that bad of servers, given that in theory there's no one even maintaining them anymore, but yet they still last longer than a game with a developer that's arguably doing better than they ever have. PD sort of kind of is, given all the things they're tied into now with FIA and all that, but different story, different video. This is Driveclub. So moving on, this is on a lighter note. They stole a race away from me. That's kind of a darker note, but well, this is actually just kind of funny. I'm about to defy the laws of physics. This actually in and of itself is unrealistic, but it's an arcade-ish game, so let it slide where sometimes you can wall ride and it actually ends up getting faster times. But anyway, for this particular time I wall rode and I bounced off, which makes sort of kind of sense, but I mean, as y'all could see when I started it there, my car actually started off to the point of it was leaning towards the left, meaning that the tires were up in the air more on the left side than the right side. And then yet in midair, when it's already starting to go to the left, it just turns to the right with nothing touching the ground whatsoever. Meaning literally it breaks the laws of physics. There's no way it can just turn in midair, going from leaning to the left to leaning to the right like that, because, well, it's not an airplane, but it looks funny, doesn't it? So, I'll let that one slide. That's more on a lighter note. Stealing a race away from me is kind of annoying, but, well, this is actually just more funny, because it looks funny, but anyway, next one. This is not as funny. This is in the crew as well. Some of these are similar. I don't really know why they happen in general, but sometimes they happen in multiple games. Crew has the thing where you try to do some of the skills challenges, and they don't pop up like the 500 ones that you can get a bronze, silver, gold, platinum on. This is just beat your friends. It's not really a set mark usually, unless it's a preset for a race, but when you're just doing it on your own, it's beat your friends. But nonetheless, they still don't load up. Don't know why. It's not even that the friend score don't load up. The whole event in general doesn't even load up. It even actually shows the things there too, which the crew did as well. I don't really get how some of these are similar, like GT6 has the cars frozen thing, makes the end results glitch, and Driveclub has that too, and then the crew has the events not showing up even though you're supposed to be doing them thing, and Driveclub has that too, but that seems to be a pattern that I found with Driveclub, is it has some stuff wrong that other games had wrong as well. And I'm pretty sure both of those games' original releases were out before Driveclub. I know GT6 was. That was out in 2013. Driveclub came out in 2014. And I think the original crew before the Wild Run was also 2014. I'm not sure who was first there. But nonetheless, Driveclub in theory would learn from other companies' mistakes. But then again, well, their company... well, alright, I'm done with the jokes with their company. But anyway, final one here. This is just straight up confuses me. The other ones are just weird, and they're actually somewhat common in multiple games, so maybe it's just like a PlayStation 4 error? Maybe it's not actually a game error, it's like a PlayStation 4 glitch? But this is just straight up a Driveclub glitch, because this is the only game I've seen it in. Sometimes an event will load up with pretty much no sound. Can y'all hear that? I barely can, and I'm not having to listen through a phone recording. Y'all are listening on the recording, which was done on a phone. I'm hearing it through the TV, and I barely even hear it. I don't know why stuff like this happens. The stuff like that it gives you race away sometimes is annoying, but granted, I've had that happen once to me though too. Which is weird because there wasn't any cars frozen in that race, but yet that still happened, but whatever. I've had it happen like 3 times where it stole the race away from me, and I've had it once where I won the race even though I finished second, so... You give some, you lose some, but I've lost more than I gained. Just saying. That's annoying, the rest are more funny, the event thing is... It's annoying too, but realistically, you can just restart, but when it's an online race, it's a little bit harder. Driveclub doesn't have as many glitches as other games, and there's not that much game breaking about it. All in all, I'd say Driveclub is overall best racing game on the PlayStation 4 that at least I have. GT Sport is fun and all, but at times it can be downright annoying. Driveclub rarely actually has times where it's downright annoying. GT Sport, it seems like it's like half the time. You can have wonderful races in GT Sport, just not that often. In Driveclub, you can have wonderful races, but then not that often of bad races. So, Driveclub still holds up perfectly fine to this day and is honestly, to me, still the best PlayStation 4 racing game. In my opinion. And no more Evolution jokes either, because Evolution exists. I have faith in Evolution. It may mean 2 things, but I'm just gonna leave it there. Yeehaw.